Happy winter solstice. Phew. All right. It's been a while since I've done a karaoke practice, and I just was really feeling that really interesting band, and that one lyric, I don't know why, but it just tore through my soul today. So the lyric, I only really remember the Santa Maria. I don't know what those other 3 ships of Columbus were until I looked it up today, but the song from my childhood is Sleep Now in the Fire by Rage Against the Machine. And a lot of this song is not really like baby appropriate for my baby. So I'm just gonna karaoke practice that line. I really remember the Santa Maria and the other 3 ships. Gotta look it up again. Can't be that sure. So sleep now in the fire lyrics. And the lyrics, when I do the search on Google, it doesn't have the Niña character for Spanish, which if you Google the 3 ships of Columbus, you will see the Niña, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. But I saw some more Spanish fluent websites put that Niña on the Niña, so it could be a little more legit Spanish. So the Niña, okay, it's a little bit tricky because all 3 of these ships have ends in their middle parts of the word, but I guess from what I can glean with my barely Spanish brain, the Niña has the Niña, so okay, so so the karaoke practice is just that one line, because the rest is not very baby friendly, and I'm kind of a baby friendly kind of guy with my daughter. It's like the Niña, the Santa Maria. No, that's not even the right order. The Niña, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. All right. The rest of those lyrics are pretty adult. So then I'm not going to talk about it too much, but what I know of those lyrics, I can't quite do the rhythm and the rhyme the way Rage Against the Machine does it, but the noose and the rapist. Okay, I guess I'm saying that really kind of goes to the novel To Kill a Mockingbird in my mind, by Harper Lee, another classic of American literature. The Fields Overseer. That okay, because the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine, I looked him up today. He's quite a well, let's get very specific while we're at it. He is definitely very mainstream. I remember my childhood and MTV and TRL, Total Request Live, and Rage Against the Machine was there. And so the vocalist Zach De La Rocha, he's very, very political in his, and historical. That's what I think makes Rage Against the Machine very unique of the bands of my childhood. Really rhyming to history, and I was a pretty good student in high school, AP US history, and mind you, I got an 800 on the SAT too, US history. So I know I went through AP US history. They had some really good readings. The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. I was not able to actually buy that book and read it, but it's quite kind of this leftist leaning of Zach De La Rocha. I read his Wikipedia article right now, his activism is very, very much about EZLN, which I just discovered today. It's the Zapatista movement, which is very, very specific. I know very, very little of that. But when he in the magic of the music of this lyric, the Fields Overseer, that reminds me, just because I know that I've read about this lead singer, that is very much to me from my upbringing in the West, going through all these AP classes in high school, advanced placement classes, which I think were just really good. They had a real core syllabus that the teacher had to teach you, unlike college classes where there's nothing, like no standards, the professor does whatever. I really liked AP classes, and from my brain, the Fields Overseer, without looking up that more, it really reminds me of just the southern plantations of the US, history, and the Fields Overseer, the southern way of life, southern slavery, and so yeah, I read The Unvanquished by William Faulkner. That is another classic of American literature, and it's very much The Unvanquished. It's very complex. Yes, the Southerners were all about the slavery, but Faulkner is talking about how the North conquered the South, yet there's a lot of spirit and soul of the South that was not vanquished by the Civil War. So I don't know too much about that either. all I have is some book I read in that was sophomore year of high school. William Faulkner. That's deep, man. To have this kind of offbeat viewpoint that there's so much unvanquished Southern soul amidst the Yankee carpetbaggers, as William Faulkner would say. The carpetbaggers from the North, because they won the war, they would come down to the South and be like trying to be the boss of the South. And no. Faulkner is specifically talking about the Northern carpetbagging and the unvanquished losers of the American Civil War, the South. Very, very deep. I don't know how much time in a human life I would have to get into that. So moving on in the lyric, the next lyric is the Agents of Orange. That's clearly Vietnam War, Agent Orange. Linkin Park had a song like
do you have to go work?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up soon.
It's 9:30.
Okay. So he had a song like Linkin Park, Wisdom, Justice, Love. It was like, yeah, this whole business of burning human beings with napalm. Oof, that's okay. Another really deep subject. I don't know how much time I have as an individual life to get into all these deep subjects. I hear this lyric very clearly in the song, "The Priests of Hiroshima." Clearly talking about the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Nonsense.
I don't know why the priests are in there. And then the final lyric is "The Cost of My Desire." I don't know how many high schoolers are really going through all these lyrics. When the song came out, Sleep Now in the Fire. Song, wiki. My wife is telling me to wrap it up because I got work tomorrow. But Sleep Now in the Fire came out in 1998. I don't know how many. Now it's like 24 years later. I'm looking at these lyrics and actually reading into them. Great. That's how time goes, I guess. We have time when we have time, and I better wrap this one up. The lyric wraps up "The cost of my desire." So that is another kind of like self-loathing kind of deepness that that the song leaves you with. So I guess I'm gonna try to karaoke practice this, but I only really know how to do the Niña, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, the noose and the rapist, the fields overseer, the agents of Orange, the priests of Hiroshima, the cost of my desire. Sleep